Let's go to volume 10. We can click through the intro because we saw it before. All right, Tegiri is our next one. Tegiri Caliber, and again, look at Tegiri like this is their normal art style, but when you hover over Tegiri, JoJo. All right, so let's do Tegiri now. Bees work on binary code. Oh my goodness, wonderful non-binary, wonderful. Okay. All right, I Smile. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care of yourself. Also, just a reminder, since we're on a momentary break here, it's a reminder that tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Manuel and I are going to begin playing through Life is Strange. She has never seen it, and I played like half of it a few years ago, and I've forgotten most of it, so this is basically a blind playthrough. There are like one or two like key parts I think I remember, but Manuel has never seen it, so completely blind for her and blindish for me. So if you're interested in that, if that kind of thing is your jam, come by tonight, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Life is Strange. In an utterly sorry, that's not disappointing. That's not even close to that word. In an utterly unsurprising turn of events, the night finds you trolling Alternia in search of, well, trolls. The friendly type, preferably. Although you've been known to work wonders with hostile folks, too. That is true. We did befriend a murder clown last time. Your current hunting ground appears to be a primarily teal neighborhood, which suits you just fine. Teals live relatively comfortably and are usually only mildly disdainful of you. This strikes you as a good place to search for companionship. As a squinting playthrough. I'll have to do this the entire time. Look how attractive my face is when I do this. Please don't leave. Oh my gosh, come back. I'm sorry for scaring you. Oh my goodness. You've got another pressing concern, though. A faint glow far on the horizon, which suggests that the sun will be rising soon. A couple hours from now at most. That's not good, because the sun is blazing hot and will in fact kill us if we're outdoors. Take your glasses off and we'll call it blind. Yes, I can just do that. I actually cannot read anything on my screen now, now that I've taken off my glasses. But look how handsome my face is, too, without my glasses. But also look how handsome my face is with my glasses. Like, I can't go wrong either way. I'm just so handsome. My God. Thank you for putting up with my self-indulgence. Anyway, nights on Alternia seem to last forever, but when the daylight hits, it hits hard, like a truck. But the truck is on fire, and the fire is nuclear fusion, and the truck is a star. Point is, you're not in the mood for another sunburn. You'd better snag a buddy before it's too late. Oh, it's after 8 p.m. for you right now, Twig. Totally understandable. Yeah, this is gonna be super late for you. Like, so it's 1 p.m. here. You're like 7 hours ahead. Yeah, that would be 3 in the morning. I recommend sleep. You can certainly catch the VOD later. But yes, but I'm glad you're here now. Hanging out with us. Point is, you're not in the mood for another sunburn. You better snag a buddy before it's too late. Okay, what kind of voice should I do for Tegiri? I mean, Tegiri's portrait seems kind of anime, so I'm wondering if like I should do like sort of an overly dramatic voice of some kind. What do you all think? What are people's opinions on how Tegiri should sound? And I will try my best to imitate. Try my best to come up with whatever. JoJo voice? I feel like that could be anything. Are we talking like... let me put it this way. I've only seen like the first half of the first season of JoJo. See the playthrough with one eye only. Oh goodness. From the look, some super intense anime voice. Yeah, and I kind of do something like that for Equius. Like I kind of, so I could say, "You, the strange hornless thing." Something like that. Like, "Hello there, my name is Tegiri. Tegiri, what's the last name? Tegiri, I forget what my last name is, but I could just talk dramatically like this all the time and emphasize every other word for no reason. Maybe I'll just start with that and let it evolve as we go. Bad anime dub. Like, you, the strange hornless thing. Speak of the devil. Ooh, let me bump down the music a little bit more, but I am digging this chiptune. Anime gasp. Oh! Oh, this is a Toby Fox one? Oh, yes. Love the Toby Fox tune. Love Toby Fox tunes. All right. Oh man, what a bop this is. Man, this makes me want to like run around and shoot robots with an arm cannon. All right. Speak of the devil, you whip around and spot a troll boy with a stylish hat and a sword sheathed behind his back. His clothes are a little shabby, but he carries himself with rigid, composed air. Okay, so Copper, Toby Fox actually did a good chunk of the music for Homestuck, and that is actually how he was known before Undertale was a thing. Like, Toby Fox, yeah, aka Radiation, yeah, Toby Radiation Fox. That was his old handle. But yeah, Toby Fox was like very involved with Homestuck, and actually, I believe part of the story of Undertale is that so Toby Fox I think was actually like living in the basement of Andrew Hussey, who was the creator of Homestuck, when he made Undertale. So yeah, so Toby Fox is very connected to the Homestuck universe. Yeah. In fact, you may be surprised to know Megalovania is not actually originally from Undertale. There's actually a version of Megalovania from Homestuck, which predates the Undertale version. And there's actually another version of Megalovania that predates even that. I believe he did like a Earthbound Halloween ROM hack. And I think that's where the original version of Megalovania is found. So there is that. So canonically, the Undertale concert that happened a few days ago, Megalovania, canonically, that is Homestuck music, you could say, you could argue. So, an orchestra performed Homestuck music. Did Toby have a weird username when he was a teen and now it haunts him? Possibly. Don't we all have that, though? All right, let's continue. What are you, some kind of mutant troll? Or another sentient creature? Definitely the latter, you say, unless he would prefer the former, in which case you're that, actually. But mutants, you've learned, are not particularly well-liked on this planet. By the way, friends, let me know how the music and mic balance is, because I'm still not completely sure. The music is still kind of loud in my headphones, so I'm not sure how it's coming across on your end, and I've already bumped my audio down like way lower than normal, but it looks like it's still kind of bouncing up toward the high end. So just give me a shout if it's if I still need to fix it. Music a little loud. Okay. Thank you, Copper. We bump it down a little bit more. All right, how's that? Is that better? I've bumped it like way down. Like, if I have one complaint about Hiveswap, it's that the mastering of the music is not the best. So, better? Cool, thank you. Yeah, that's true. Undertale would not have completed its Kickstarter goal without the Homestuck fans. That is definitely true. Homestuck did help give us Undertale, so there is a connection there. An alien? Humph. I won't have to cull you then. Not immediately, at least. You don't appear to be a cull on sight species. Lucky for you that I won't have to lose my blade, and lucky for me to have found a potential comrade. I know what you seek. Shelter and friendship, not necessarily in that order. You're about to speak up, but he's already moving on. You seek the meeting place of the Eastern Alternian Fine Animated Art Appreciation Society. Oh my gosh. Eastern Alternian Fine Animated Art. Anime. That's what they call anime. Or, as some less cultured souls would call it, the Anime Club. Less cultured souls would call it the Anime Club. Oh my gosh, yes. Fun fact, when I was a high school mathematics teacher, I was the faculty sponsor of our school's anime club, and students would come have lunch in my classroom, and we would just hang out and watch anime, and it was a fun time. Also because it was in a public school with minors, we were very limited on our choices of what we could watch, so... Brenna Weeb. I don't deny it. I don't deny it. The first Undertale fan is canonically a Homestuck. Oh, a club! Back home, teachers used to go on and on about how clubs were a wonderful place to meet new friends. You didn't really believe it then, but maybe things are different here on Alternia. Oh, thank you, Heterosapiens. I did seem to be liked by at least a few of my students, so there's that. You confidently assert that, yes, you are here for the animes. Good. I feared I was going to have to cancel tonight's meeting due to no-shows, but now it can proceed as scheduled. Follow me. He gestures toward his hive and begins to stride confidently toward it, but then he rethinks it, pausing to look back at you. Wait, subs or dubs? Oh my goodness, we have 3 choices here. Oh no. We can go with subs or dubs or both are good? I was a teacher, Twink. So I taught high school mathematics for about 6 years before I switched jobs. I am now an instructional designer in higher education, and I help design and implement online courses for master's degree programs. And that is what I currently do. There is only one true choice. Yes, I believe I know what the correct choice is. Oh, thank you, Twink. I will hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate. But let's go with dubs. Perfect, a fellow connoisseur. Let's continue. Oh wow, I thought dubs was gonna be the wrong choice, actually. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. Alright, let's keep going until we get to the next decision point, and then we'll go back and do the other 2 and see what happens. Tegiri invites you into his hive with a sweeping bow, and you step into the foyer. The hive looked normal from the outside, normal by troll standards at least, but the inner decor has an entirely different vibe to it. It reminds you of Japanese architecture. Tegiri, no! What a twist! Oh! Tegiri takes off his sandals before entering the next room. You take off your shoes too, if you had any. Excuse me. As you step into his living room, you are assaulted, not literally, thankfully, by an absolute smorgasbord of merchandise. This place looks like someone did a Google search for Otaku Collection and opened the first result. Look at all of these swords over here on the right. And then there's a big-ass, like, Cloud Strife sword over here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Tegiri has waifu pillows. Look at the waifu pillows, everyone. That it cuddles with. Oh my goodness. What? Automod, why did you... Wow. Why did Automod kill waifu? Holy cow, I am so sorry about that, Heterosapiens. Like... I was just talking about, like, hey, look at the waifu pillows, and then you typed waifu, and Automod was like, no. And sorry, I'm gonna have to smack Automod. We're gonna have to, like... Wow, Automod hates waifu so much, my goodness. My good heavens, okay. But yes, anywho. Posters and scrolls adorn every inch of wall available, and the inches of wall that aren't available are blocked by shelves containing all sorts of DVDs, manga, and other such forms of media. Husbandos only. Automod is jealous. Automod, please. Calm down. Go take a nap. On a large glass shelving unit near the room's exit, you spy a veritable cornucopia of anime figurines, most of whom seem to be in varying states of undress. You would like to describe it as tasteful nudity, but you would also like to describe yourself as the most popular person on Alternia, and both would be a lie. Tegiri has arranged his merch meticulously according to blood color, from red at the bottom to fuchsia at the top. I see you are admiring my fine East Alternian collectibles. I polish them daily, just as I polish my blade. Don't touch them, or you'll taste folded steel. As you slowly retract your hand. Oh my gosh, the steel is shining right here. That's fabulous. You wouldn't dream of touching them. That was never, ever something you were planning on doing. You won't even breathe on them. In fact, you step far away from the collectibles, just in case. With that step, you bump into something behind you, and you hear a soft woof. As you spin around to look, you see what must be Tegiri's Lucis surveying you with an intense gaze. Boop the snoot, everyone! I'm gonna touch my screen. Boop. 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 Give the Lucis a treat and boop the snoot. It looks a lot like a Shiba Inu if they were twice the size and had opposable everything. Honestly, watching it scuttle around like a monkey while sniffing at you is pretty entrancing. Eventually, you seem to meet its standards because it darts out of the room. You hear some rustling in what you assume is the kitchen. That was Tadashi Inu, my Lucis. He taught me everything I know. I could not have asked for a better sensei. Yeah, dogs are great, you respond, and then you immediately wish you could take that back. Dogs are great. That's got to be the blandest possible statement you could have made, but also true, because dogs are great, and there's nothing wrong with pointing out the obvious from time to time. Possibly inaccurate too? What's this thing called? A bark beast? A fetch fiend? A wolf gremlin? Oh, Tegiri isn't even paying attention to you anymore. He's busy perusing his shelves, picking out some DVDs. Oh my gosh, how many times is... Wait. Automod didn't like VE? That's weird. Automod, you're drunk. Automod's been day drinking. Alright. Anyway. Per my viewing schedule, we'll watch a carefully curated selection of episodes from one classic and blah 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 blah. Let me try that again. I actually got distracted because my brain was just realizing that all of the L's are slashes, which is like the mark a sword would make if you slash it. So like all these L's are just like cuts of his blade. The entire chat gets waifu banned. Oh no. Per my viewing schedule, we'll watch a carefully curated selection of episodes from one classic and from one recent release. But, since you're a newcomer, it might be best not to jump into the middle of last bout's series, Philosopher Half-Iron. Philosopher Half-Iron? Is that Full Metal Alchemist? Philosopher Half-Iron? Perhaps we shall, instead, begin with the first season of School-Fed Heroism, and transition into some episodes of Kismet Stuck Morning. Wait. School-Fed Heroism, is that My Hero Academia? Kismet Stuck Morning? What is I don't know what Kismet Stuck Morning is. I'm not sure what that's referring to. But I'm pretty sure we got Full Metal Alchemist and My Hero Academia happening. Walmart be weird, I got my ice cream but not my Alka-Seltzer? What? How dare they? That's the kind of mishap that would give me heartburn. And then I'd be like, oh no, I have no Alka-Seltzer. The original airing, of course, not the censored one with the ridiculous CGI dragon. Ugh. Looks like Tegiri intends to take full control of the morning's activities, which you find entirely copacetic. The less you need to assert your own opinions and make your own choices, the less likely you are to fuck up. It's probably not a healthy way to live, but it's gotten you somewhere between 1 to 19 friends so far, so you're sticking to it. Oh my gosh. Again, very lovely fourth wall breaking there. With deft and precise movements, Tegiri retrieves a disc from its container and pops it in the troll equivalent of a DVD player. It makes a slimy chugging noise as it sucks the disc in, and like usual, you aren't sure if it's an inanimate object or a living being. Either way, you're a little disgusted. The DVD player hums and Tegiri's TV lights up with a colorful title screen. You're ready to get settled in for a journey through the wonderful world of the animes, but he frowns and pauses the episode less than a minute in. Hang on. This isn't the correct copy. The localization on these lines was changed after the original translator was culled by a purple blood for crimes against buffoonery. Crimes against buffoonery? Oh no. Kismet, stuck, morning, fate, stay night. That's not what I've heard of, Lord Expurgator, but yeah, that sounds like the match is up. Also, hello, happy Saturday, Lord Expurgator. Thank you for being here and for contributing to my understanding of what's going on. Purple blood for crimes against buffoonery. I specifically ordered the first edition and paid extra for it. This is unacceptable. Tegiri stops the DVD player, ejects the disc, and places it back in its case. Oops, Come, there's still time in the night. We need to go resolve this immediately. The ship that imported it for me is nearby. Unacceptable. He heads for the door and beckons for you to follow, which you do. You guess it was too much to hope for a quiet morning inside, wasn't it? Oh, Twink, basically it's just saying, I think it's just saying like, maybe you, 1 to 19 is like the number of friends you could have made playing Hiveswap Friendsim up to this point. Like, you don't actually have to do the volumes in order. You actually can skip around, so, so there is that. At least you get to go shopping for animes, which sounds fun enough. Will it be at one of those fancy automated stores, you wonder? No. Unlike most stores in Alternia, this specialty shop is run by a living troll. A fellow collector who would not entrust such work to automation. So one would expect, with an actual think pan involved, there would be no careless mistakes like this. At least I'm on good terms with the owner, so I doubt there will be trouble. You, on the other hand, expect plenty of it. Pretty much everything on this goddamn planet has been trouble so far. Does he know how awful it is here? You don't want to human-splain to him or anything, but things are pretty awful here. Things are pretty awful here. Oh, you guess he knows. He's staring at one of the many billboards that line the streets, which has been defaced with bright red graffiti. It's saying some pretty nasty stuff about Trizza. Rebel sentiments grow by the moment. Alternia lies on the verge of peril, a blade's edge. And not any blade, but the blade of a razor-sharp folded steel katana. Forged under the East Alternian moonlight. Heated by the bellows breath of a magnificent draconian Lucis. Cooled by the shimmering cascade of an acid waterfall. And fit to be handled by only a true expert. Tegiri is not dramatic at all. Do you dance? You're a little caught off guard by that question. Dancing? As in moving one's body to music? In a way, yes. Moving to the sweet music of steel on steel. The rhythm of combat, the stiletto step that weaves death and glory into one beautiful motion. Do you dance? Oh, sword fighting, of course. You really should have figured that one out. This guy's dial has only 2 settings, talking about swords or talking about anime. Sometimes he gets particularly frisky and talks about both at once. Bro, you don't cool a blade in acid, you do oil. You tell him that you don't know how to handle swords, but they seem really cool and you love to learn. Cool. Swordplay is more than cool. It is a way of life, a code of honor. To pick up the blade is to bind yourself with the tenets of Bushido, and to be prepared at all times to enforce justice, the only way a swordsman knows. through steel. Someday the pursuit of justice may bring me face to face with these rebel scum. I must be ready to show them the true, magnificent terror of the blade. Who knows? Maybe I would even be awarded a Clown-Gressional Medal of Honor. Clown-Gressional, oh my gosh. Wonderful. A troll can dare to dream. So that's why he practices swordplay, huh? To enforce justice? Kind of like a vigilante? Vigilante, please! I would only ever cull a troll who legally deserved death. What kind of lawless moron do you take me for? You don't take him for a moron at all. In fact, he's very smart and clever and just. You hope you're not laying it on too thick, but he seems to enjoy the praise. Ah yes, the pursuit of justice. Indeed. Indubitably. Oh, isn't seal folding a trick that allows to make half-decent sword from very bad steel? Oh, okay. Interesting. I actually didn't really realize what that meant. Ah, we're here. This won't take too long. He's taken you to a night market that reminds you of the place where you met Polypa. A strip mall lies to the left of the many tents and stalls, and a sign above one door reads Super Topato Imports. Now this place looks cool. Oh my gosh, there's a Mega Man troll right there. Oh my gosh. This is like Terezi's stuffed plushie, I think. This looks very much like Terezi's right here, actually. Alphys plushie, it also looks like Alphys. Also true, I will buy that as well. Shut up, it's Alphys. Okay, I'm sorry, Copper. Forgive me. Yes, Mr. Lemon Snout. Yes, that's the name I was looking for. Perhaps Alphys and Lemon Snout are one and the same plushie, Pegolin plushie. As you enter, Tegiri makes a beeline for the counter, which is manned by a greasy-looking Goldblood with pinkish-looking eyes. Oh my gosh, this is basically Troll GameStop, isn't it? You, on the other hand, are more interested in the rest of the store. It looks a lot like Tegiri's living room, but bigger. Anime figurines on sale for what looks to be a preposterous amount of money, DVDs and comics lining the shelves, arcade games in the corner. There's even a section for replica swords, which all look far too sharp and legitimately deadly for your liking. Skulking between the shelves is an olive blood guy. You can't quite tell if he works here or if he's just browsing. You're not sure if any trolls even have normal jobs. You're about to ask the olive guy about a particularly interesting DVD when you're distracted by a commotion at the counter. You're pretty sure you heard Tegiri snarling something about his rights as a consumer? Looks like trouble is brewing. Big trouble in Little Alternia is brewing. You turn your head toward the counter and listen in. Do you really think you don't get away with ripping me off like this? Do you know who I am? My blood caste? A teal blood like me has connections, a vast network of like-minded souls at my beck and call, ready to be unsheathed against my hapless foes. The legal force I can bring to bear against you is greater than your puerile mind could ever imagine. A fleet of legislaturators will descend on you like shadow clones, each armed with the greatest weapon of them all. Knowledge! And your intricate understanding of the Alternian legal code, you will be mired in suits so myriad, so mind-numbing, you will wish for the swift and early death my blade can provide. Or, you can offer me an exchange of equal or greater value to my original purchase! Which path will you choose to walk, scum? You wander closer to the counter, hoping you might be able to help resolve the situation. I need a drink of water after that one. I actually feel a little dizzy from all of that yelling. Tegiri's human name is Karen. That's perfect. You wander closer to the counter, hoping you might be able to help resolve the situation, but instead you blunder right into the olive blood and send a box tumbling from his hands to the ground. A bunch of assorted products spill out as the shopkeeper gasps dramatically. You don't see what the big deal is. Looks like some more DVDs and manga. One cover features a troll with heart-shaped horns and a bright pink sign, and another features some red-blooded douchebag wearing pants way too tall for him. Tegiri picks up one of the mangas and waves it in front of the shopkeeper's face. Care to explain what I'm looking at here? Imperial Dictate, number the 2nd, section 3.2. The depiction of non-standard hymnological attributes is strictly forbidden. Imperial Dictate, number the 7th, section 5. Material which encourages action against the state is considered contraband of the highest degree. The Olive Blood, who can clearly see the situation careening downhill like a scuttle buggy without wheel stops, begins to creep toward the door. Homestuck anime reference? Perhaps. You'd love to do the same, but you can't give up on a potential new friendship. It's basically pathological. To think of my favorite Alturian to think that my favorite Eastern Alturian hobby shop could stoop so low as to peddle this criminal filth. What a sickening betrayal! Top 10 anime betrayals. The shopkeeper stammers, offering a litany of muddled explanations that only seem to incense Tegiri further. He was holding it for a friend. No, wait, it's satire? Tegiri slams a palm down on the counter. Oh my gosh, Vivi reacted to that. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh my gosh. It's okay, buddy. Go back to sleep. Tegiri slams a palm down on the counter and his eyes shoot open, revealing dark purple irises with a strange swirl pattern. That pose is fabulous. Imperial Dictate, number the 61st, section 2. Satire is especially contraband. So it's Jesus fanfiction. You think you can mess with me? I've watched countless hours of legal drama, played and replayed legendary Legislacerator, and memorized every twist. I know the law back and forth. And now it's time for the punishment due. You're fucking dead, kiddo! As Tegiri leans over the counter, his free hand grips the hilt of his katana and tenses, ready to draw. He's about to straight up execute this guy. Don't intervene or defend the shopkeeper. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's save that. And let's return to this. After we go back further to the original decision point and choose something else now. Oh my goodness. Am I slightly attracted to him? What the heck, mind? Oh my goodness. This is wonderful, wonderful. Alright, I'm sick, like physically, not mentally. Anywho, let's go with subs now. It's entertaining how wrong you are. But even the greatest of Alternian philosophers required sparring opponents on the battlefield of intellect. To challenge your assumptions with my superior logic and taste will be a fulfilling task. Come in. Not really the reaction you were hoping for, but you'd say anything to get into someone's hive, so you'll take it. Tegiri invites you into his hive with a sweeping bow, and you step into the foyer. Does this just go to the same thing? Yeah, this is the same thing, I think. Yep. So basically subs or dubs are correct, but I think perhaps choosing both is the incorrect response. Both are good? His expression immediately sours, a look you're all too familiar with. If you had a mouse, you'd be frantically scrolling the wheel upward to roll back time and make a new choice. Oh my gosh, you can literally do that in here. I'm scrolling my mouse back like right now, and you can actually go back doing that. Fourth wall broken, shattered, dead. But you live in the real world where you have to face the consequences of your god-awful anime opinions. Have you no conviction? The anime club is a sanctuary for those of strong will and finely honed arguments, not a shelter for cowardly pissants. What debate can come from a sycophantic toady such as yourself? How are you going to stimulate my intellect? You begin to sputter in protest. You're plenty stimulating. You've got a pretty long list of friends whom you've stimulated in all kinds of ways. Platonic ones mostly, but he's not having any of it. There are other anime fans in the city. Perhaps their gatherings will be more your level. Farewell. Oh no. All right. So it turns out either subs or dubs was correct. I actually love that they did that, because there are perfectly valid reasons for liking dubs over subs, and there are perfectly valid reasons for liking subs over dubs. Honestly, it's also perfectly valid to like both, but I do like that they're legitimizing either stance. But we're not allowed to like everything. We have to like only some things. Okay, so let's go back to the dramatic GameStop murder scene. I mean, there really is only one true answer, according to SoCal. Alright, let's not intervene and see what happens. Don't intervene. You really don't want to get in between the shopkeeper and Tegiri's sword. For all you know, this really does warrant an immediate execution. Who are you to judge? You do, however, squint a little so you don't have to see the full gory detail of the culling. Turns out it's not nearly as gory as you expected. Tegiri leaps over the counter and swings wildly at the guy, but many of his attacks fail to connect. It's mostly a bunch of bombastic anime-style moves that don't translate well to actual combat. Oh my god. Still, some strikes hit home, drawing a spray of murky gold blood that jolts the shopkeeper out of his petrified fear. He screeches and unleashes a strobing psionic blast from his eyes, causing Tegiri to stagger back, disoriented. The flash of light doesn't seem to have caused any real damage, but it offers the perfect opportunity to flee. By the time your eyes have adjusted, the only thing they see is the back door swinging wildly in his wake. Unsurprisingly, the olive blood is nowhere to be seen as well. Shit. Tegiri glances down at his katana, stained with the blood of the shopkeeper, and slowly sheathes it. His hand is shaking, claws tapping at the hilt restlessly. He turns slowly to you, forcing himself back into his usual stoic posture. He got lucky, that's all, but he can't hide forever. Let's go. We need to report this to a drone. He strides out of the shop, leaving you to follow hurriedly behind. What a mess. You hesitantly ask him whether it was really necessary to try and kill that boy for what he did. Of course it was. The law is absolute. A foreigner like you might not understand. It is not my duty to question the righteousness of my actions. I am but a tool through which the law is enforced. I am the blade that her imperious condescension wields to maintain order in this world of chaos. Another Condescend reference. Just like this drone. He gestures to one of the big hulking drones that you've grown all too familiar with during your stay here on Alternia. Right now it looks like it's cleaning up some bronze-colored blood that was spattered on the side of the building. Tegiri approaches and hails it, beginning to explain that there's a collector's shop he needs to report for rebel activity, but the drone isn't listening to any of that. It slowly turns from him to stare directly at you, and raises its weapon to your face. A grating electronic noise issues from its metallic grill. In the immortal words of a wise cartoon dog, ruh-roh! Hold it! This creature is under my protection. It has committed no crime. If you continue this attempted culling, I will strike back with my katana. And a strongly worded letter to your superiors. The drone seems supremely annoyed that it can't just get right down to culling a motherfucker, but Tegiri's caste must be just high enough to give it pause. You, the motherfucker in question, are incredibly relieved. That relief quickly fades when the drone produces a palm husk with a blurry picture of you on the screen, and a lot of text beneath, most of it flashing red. That's never a good sign. It looks like a rap sheet. Holy cow, we have a rap sheet? My goodness. Tegiri reads through it quickly, which is a pretty impressive feat considering his eyes are still closed, and his expression darkens the further down he gets. Oh my goodness. Wanted under suspicion of meat product theft. Heist of fine art. We did heist some art. Accomplice to the assassination of a Violet Blood. We did do that too, that's true. Oof. You didn't realize you racked up such a heavy list of crimes. Oh no, oh no. He's already rounding on you with fury radiating off every inch of his being. Oh no, it's terrifying. You've seen this guy arguing with a retail clerk. You know what he's capable of. All this time, I thought your soul was open to the way of the samurai. I thought I had met a potential new connoisseur of the animated arts. But no! Your blood pusher pumps only lies through your villainous veins. You were just looking for an alibi, a place to bide your time, to hide away from the... I need to like slow down here for a second. Also I need to roll up my sleeves because I'm getting like kind of warm here. To hide away from the drones until it was time to indulge once more in your criminal ways. You try to defend yourself. You didn't do any of those things. You had a perfectly good reason for most of them. Tegiri isn't buying it. He's clutching his katana's hilt so tight, veins are bulging in his hand. Silence, coward! The time has come for my blade to strike true! Ha! He draws his blade in a smooth motion and swipes at you, and you just barely manage to sidestep the attack. You dart backwards, stumbling over yourself in your haste to get away, while he swings his katana wildly around while making lots of weird grunting noises. Once again, his mouth has been writing a check. Oh my gosh. My reading is going faster than my talking, which is a thing that happens in your brain, as I'm learning in my Cog Sci class. Once again, his mouth has been writing a check his sword hand can't cash, but you doubt that matters when trolls are stronger and faster than you in general, and he's accompanied by a giant murder drone. It's time for you to split, and you'd better do it lickety. Glancing around, you notice that you're about to cross over a bridge with an underpass beneath it. Perfect! Just like an action hero, you can hop right over the edge of the road, duck into the underpass, and find a nice hiding spot. Those inconvenient murder drones. Are you trying to spell vulgarity, Twink? You're pretty close. Yeah, there you go. Vulgarity. You dash toward the traffic barrier, vault nimbly over it, and oh Jesus piss, this is way higher than you thought it was. You hit the ground hard with a resounding crack, and for a moment your vision goes blank as a wave of pain sears your nerves. As the pain to disorientation begins to fade, you decide it's about time to take stock of your situation. Couple of broken bones, old hat, a troll trying to kill you, not unfamiliar, drones attacking you, same, and sun about to rise and scorch you into nothing, again. Individually, you've risen to the challenge of just barely handling each of these problems, but all at once, yeah, you think you're just gonna call this one here. Oh no, useless. Oh, that was an ending. It's true, English spelling makes no sense. Alright, so let's go back and let's defend the shopkeeper now. Defend the shopkeeper. Okay, you know this is a terrible idea, but you've seriously had it up to here with being party to the murder of random trolls. You quickly interpose yourself between Tegiri and the Gold Blood. Does he really have to kill this guy for what seems to be his first offense? You launch into an impassioned spiel about love and friendship and justice, riding the value of forgiveness and second chances really hard. And for good measure, you throw in a little side note about how Tegiri's favorite shop will close down if he kills this dude. Silence! Tegiri shoves you roughly aside and you go careening into a display full of body pillows. You watch, stomach plummeting, as Tegiri turns back to the shopkeeper and slowly draws his sword. Gonna call that a 0.5 death on that because I'm really counting on how many bystanders got killed. Ah, yes, well we did get some blood in that one, so there is that. But then, at the last second, he reconsiders. Ugh. Consider yourself lucky I'm in a good mood. If I catch you selling contraband again, your life will be mine. Tegiri strides out of the store, holding a fresh copy of the DVD he wanted to exchange. You give the shopkeeper a vaguely apologetic look and rush out of the store behind him. Phew, that was a close one. You thank Tegiri profusely for listening to your dumb little speech about whatever it was you said. Honestly, you already forgot. You're clearly new to this planet. I felt pity for your naivete. But I should have just killed him. Death is the legally prescribed punishment for such crimes as his. Actually, it's the legally prescribed punishment for most crimes. I should have separated him from his head. But I looked into your pleading eyes and I saw. Tegiri goes quiet. You would describe the silence as being particularly brooding. There's a lot of silences like that on this planet. Then finally, he speaks. This isn't my first time. It was just over a sweep ago, I believe. I was patrolling the Hive Batch in search of evildoers when I caught the unmistakable scent of smoke in the air. Upon pursuing the lead, I saw a hive, partially collapsed, partially on fire. My instincts flared, and I rushed in to help the innocent soul who was trapped there. But as I was helping the girl bandage her wounds, it occurred to me that I had made a grievous error in judgment. Trolls below a certain age without a lucis or a proper hive are considered unviable and slated to be culled. By rights, I should have put her out of her misery the moment I realized my mistake. And yet, I looked into her deep gray eyes, dulled from the pain of loss, and I sheathed my blade. In fact, even though she is hiveless and lucisless, I remain in contact with her to this day, knowing deep down that one day, I must cull her. The law demands it. But I haven't yet. I don't know if I could. Why does my conviction waver at times like these? If he's talking about who you think he's talking about, you're pretty sure he couldn't kill her even if he tried. Oh, who is he talking about? This must be someone we already know. I forget which of our troll friends, doesn't have a lucis or a place to live for that matter. But that's not the point here. The point is, he's spilling some real and true and deep emotion with you. This friendship is basically in the bag. Just gotta drop some sweeping, vague wisdom that makes him feel better about potentially not being an unthinking cog in the Alternian murder machine. You offer a light suggestion that maybe what is legal and what is just aren't always the same thing. Just a little thought. Oh, some real talk there. What is legal and what is just aren't always the same thing. That's deep. A deep cut, perhaps. Maybe he's doing the right thing, overlooking her situation because of how obviously fucked up it is to be a homeless orphan. He goes silent for a long time, chewing his bottom lip. You're naive. Naive, uncultured, unenlightened. Wow, thanks. You think the world is simple, like a cartoon for children. But this is Alternia, a land ruled by cold logic, where men such as myself must make the hard decisions. It's not easy being dedicated to the code of law. It asks much of us and gives us little in return, but it gives us order. It keeps the beasts at bay. If I were to question it, what then? Would I begin to wonder if it is unjust for a blue blood to command his servants? For imperial drones to cull the infirm? For us to obey the ever-changing whims of Alternian royalty? Takes a lot of effort to suppress your, well, yeah, but for the sake of this burgeoning friendship, you allow him to continue his monologue. Riots in the streets. Troll killing troll. Even more than usual, I mean. No, I cannot waver. These hands must remain steady and true. Though I feel a pull toward the scorching fangs of the light, I must continue my path and remain in the tender, righteous embrace of the dark. Revelry in the dark. Truth be my blade, intellect my sensei, and justice my only companion on this lonely road. He goes on like that for quite a while. It all starts to muddle together in your head, and you lose count of how many times he's repeated some screed about justice and truth and being smarter than all the other trolls in the room. It honestly sounds to you like he's just lonely? You know a whole lot about loneliness and the poor management thereof. Some people throw themselves into their nerdy anime hobby, and others become obsessed with making friends no matter the cost to their mental or physical well-being. Maybe he just needs a couple of good pals to remind him what it's like to have a heart. But if you try to tell him that, he'll probably just respond with another long and winding monologue, likely stolen from an anime he watched recently. Maybe you should just let him vent. You have my thanks for lending your ear. Oh, a compliment brings you out of your reverie. Nothing interrupts the old introspection machine. Nothing interrupts the old introspection machine like the opportunity to chug on the succulent ambrosia that is any kind of praise or gratitude. It's no big deal, you tell him. You're a great listener. That's what friends are for. Has he considered having more friends? Like you, for example? He opens his mouth like he's about to reiterate the whole lone swordsman thing. Did I say that right? He opens his mouth like he's about to reiterate the whole lone swordsman thing. So you hastily try to change the topic. What's with his eyes? Most trolls you've seen have had gray irises, and those who didn't followed the typical biological trend of displaying their blood color. Tegiri pauses, his grip tensing on his sword as his fangs dip into his lip. Oh geez, this must be his most closely guarded secret. Have you earned enough trust to hear it? Oh, you're fine, Twink. Don't worry about being too chatty. I love people chatting in chat. It's great. I like having you all here. They're contact lenses for cosplay. Oh, fair enough. Actually, is cosplaying as a different blood caste even legal on this planet? If he's doing it, it probably is. Right? You're about to ask when something distracts you. The sight of another troll standing in front of Tegiri's hive, using it as shelter from the rising sun. They're pacing back and forth with precise movements, glancing at one of the windows almost like they're plotting to break in. And when they hear footsteps approaching, they perk up and whirl their head around. Hey, wait a second, you recognize them. Oh, it's Polypa! Oh my goodness, okay. Oh, I love Polypa. Polypa spots you before Tegiri spots her. Her expression is hard and stoic, eyes glancing between the two of you as she assesses the situation. And then, like she's throwing on a disguise, her face softens and smiles. Hey, Tegs. I was starting to wonder where you were, and if anime night was cancelled. Your Lucis is staring at me through the window. I think he thinks it's funny watching me stuck outside, roasting to death while you're chasing purr-beasts around the hive batch. Heh, classic Tadashi. Why were you late? Just busier than expected with some work. She shoots you a sharp glance. Assembling some new mecha models. You know how it is. She's doing assassinations. Yes, of course. It's all too easy to get wrapped up in one's hobby. Anyway, I didn't realize we'd have a third for once. Not to mention somebody I know. Nani? You and my new kohai have already met? She pauses, her eyes darting back and forth between you two once more. She seems to be assessing the situation, wearing a look like an assassin trying to evade capture. You recognize that look, considering she was literally wearing it the last time you met. We're kinda moirails. Whoa, that's absolutely not what you thought you were, but you just kind of nod your head and roll with it. It seems to be what she wants you to do. Oh, moirails. Tegiri's face tightens almost imperceptibly, but you caught it. Nothing gets past your honed friend-making skills. Well, actually, a lot of things get past them, but not this particular thing. You're finely tuned to the nuances of social situations, as long as those nuances don't involve making a binary choice on which your social future hinges. Well, as you know, I am far too busy studying the blade to pursue quadrants of any sort. A foolish waste of time, were it not for the laws of this land, and I would swear off of them entirely. Are you sure it isn't that you just can't get a date? You don't have to play the mysterious loner, you know. There's other clubs you could join instead of insisting on running your own. He huffs, looking away. You hear his Lucis barking from behind the window in a tone that sounds like laughter. Right? As long as it doesn't depend on making a binary choice. Right? Right? Why do choices have to be binary? That's silly. Fools mock that which they cannot understand. And to think, I was going to congratulate you on finding love. Once you finish your spiel about romance being dumb, Polypa gives him a light, friendly whap, which he responds to with a smile. You can tell the exchange is friendly, not only because he's smiling, but because he's still standing. Enough banter. The harsh glare of the sun begins to crest, and we have Eastern Alturian animation to indulge in. I'll allow you both to spend the day at my hive if needed. There's space. Oh shit, a slumber party? And with more than one participant even? That's got to be worth extra friend points. You are so in. Shelter from the broiling death orb in the sky barely even registers to you as an added bonus. Polypa smiles at you as the three of you enter Tegiri's hive. Tegiri covers up all his windows to block out the sun, then starts up the new copy of his DVD, which thankfully seems to meet his standards this time. You settle in on the couch, basking in the warm glow of friendship, and prepare to lose yourself to hours of the beautiful, wonderful animes. Oh my goodness. Look how cozy and wholesome this looks, everyone. Oh my gosh. Like, we've got like multiple friends watching some chill anime, sitting on pillows. We've got a doggo in our lap. Like, this is like just the coziest, most wholesome thing I have seen so far in all of Hiveswap Friendsim. I love this so very much. This is making my heart happy. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh man. That's great. I love that. That's wonderful. All right, and that was Tegiri, everyone. That's volume 10 of Hiveswap Friendsim.